Yeah, really proud of the way that this team responded to adversity coming off of a tough loss up in Ann Arbor a week ago. And it's always interesting, early in the year when you come off a first loss to see how these guys will respond, which I expected them to respond the way they did today because that's just who this team is starting to become. And really excited. If you look at the way the second half played out, our defense gave up, I think, 75 yards, no points. To me, this is the third game in a row where our defensive staff, led by Coach Williams, has done a tremendous job of making the necessary adjustments at the half and coming out and playing really good defense for us. Big Ten wins are special. They're hard, and we knew we'd see Michigan State's best. Obviously, this was a team that struggled the last couple of weeks and came in with their backs against the wall and really fought us, at least early first half and kept themselves in the game. But I thought our guys were ready for that challenge and to match a team that was coming in desperate like Michigan State was. And all it's done is earn us an opportunity to come back in after celebrating this for 24 hours to get ready for a really good Purdue team that's coming off of a big win against Minnesota. So very little time to celebrate it. I am proud of the team and the way we responded and played here at home, and hopefully we can kind of pack the shell and get some butts in seats next week, early kickoff for Purdue. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Start your right.
Mike, first two possessions for the offense, you guys reached the end zone. What were you hoping to take advantage of early on, and how it felt like the game was moving slow for Talia, meaning that he was a step ahead of everybody in that pocket?
Yeah, I'll take my hat off to that kid. You guys have no idea what the last 24 to 48 hours has been like for him. And for him to be able to compartmentalize and get himself ready to play, and I'm sure he'll be in here pissed off and disappointed. He throws for 300 yards, 24, whatever, 31. And obviously, the injury to his brother was heavy on his mind, and we did a good job of surrounding him. But I really like the way that he was able to kind of compartmentalize and lean on his brothers, and that's what the culture we've tried to create for him. To start fast, that was part of our goal. When a team comes in like Michigan State, who were basically circling the wagons, we knew we needed to start fast to kind of take the air out of them, and I like the way we responded on offense. Unfortunately, defensively, we allowed them to go down and answer. So, really proud of Leah. Again, the way he responded, especially having a long week there at the end of the week.
To your left and right.
Antoine Littleton had a big day today. Can you speak as to what makes him such a uniquely difficult matchup for opponents?
I think it starts with his size and power. Obviously minus the 4 cracks we had at the 1 yard line after the long run, Twan has played really good football for us, and he kind of had the hot hand today. And we left him in there and fed him, and with a big body guy like that, he wears down defenses, and eventually, something's going to pop. He brings something to the team in the passing game, caught a few balls, and then also has really improved in his pass protection. So, between him and Roman Hemby and Kobe McDonald, as well as the freshman Ramon Brown, we really feel like that room has done a tremendous job contributing.
To your right, Colin.
Coach, you mentioned overcoming adversity. How the flag at the end of the first half kind of really turned the game around. How important was it to get the blocked field goal and kind of get the momentum back? And I guess what was your message to the team at halftime?
Yeah, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole about that flag and the lack of a touchdown, but again, we always talk about controlling the things we can control, and we can't control the referees, we can't control the calls. At some point, I think we'll earn the respect around here to where we are able to take advantage of calls like that, and all we can do is worry about us. And I was glad our defense, unlike me, and I had to coach myself to getting neutralized and going back to neutral to let that one go. That one sat for a while, but was really happy that defensively they kept fighting, blocked the field goal, which kept points off the board, which was huge.
Coach, sorry, I never know what to say. Going back to Talia with Tua, was there any question as to whether he would even be able to play today with, I can imagine where his mental headspace was, and on that note, does it make it even more impressive that he was even able to go out there and perform the way he did?
Obviously with my background with that family, those boys are warriors, and They like to play the game of football. You know, I can tell you that it was definitely heavy on the mind of him, and the relationship he and Tua has, they're really, really close. You know, I think the one thing that was able to settle him down was, you know, he was finally able to get a FaceTime with Tua. And Tua basically said, hey, I'm fine, man, go play. I'm looking forward to seeing you go play and win a game. So right after dinner last night was the first time in probably 24 hours that I saw his energy, because, you know, our team takes on the personality of the head coach and the quarterback, and everybody was really kind of on pins and needles watching him as he worked through it Friday, which is a big mental day for us, and we all knew that, you know, he was not necessarily all the way there, but I thought, you know, once he had the conversation and saw that his brother was okay, thank God for FaceTime now, because Tua was obviously able to get him settled down. He was able to compartmentalize today and just really focus on doing his job, and I thought the kids showed up and played well.
Hey coach, probably not the best first drive for the defense, but as the game went on, what did you see from them? Did you make any adjustments?
So I think the adjustments is as you figure out the chess match of how they want to attack us. You know, the disappointing thing in the first drive was it was almost a mimicking of what happened a week ago. A short yardage play, they ran tempo, the back came downhill, bounced it, and we didn't have a guy where he needed to be. But I think the best thing about it is Coach Williams, the defensive staff, at halftime, you know, they wanted to attack us on the in the flat area. We made some adjustments from playing the one high look to getting into some cloud looks, cover two looks, which took away the flats. I thought we started pushing the pocket in the quarterback's lap a few times, and you know, I thought for the most part our coverage was really good, you know, compared to how we've done things here the last couple of weeks.
Hey coach, talk about your offense. Last week you turned the ball over 3 times in Michigan. This week, I want to say perfect, you know, no turnovers, no fumbles. What did you guys do this week to control that so you don't have a...
I'll put an asterisk by the 3 turnovers a week ago. I'll put an asterisk by that. But obviously taking care of the football is priority number 1 for us. On the offensive side, you know, the weather was, we were fortunate the weather held off for us, and we took care of the football like we need to. You know, each week on offense, we chart our margin of error, which, you know, there's 5 things that we can control, and today we controlled all 5 of those unforced errors by not giving up a bunch of sacks, not having a bunch of offensive penalties, no fumbles, no interceptions, and really, I thought the offense did a really good job rallying behind Leah and taking care of the football.
Hey Lox, how's it going? Back here, over here. You know, I know it's middle of the season here, but this is 2 straight years now. You guys are starting 4-1. You went toe-to-toe with Michigan last week, handled Michigan State this week. Do you feel the vision that you have for this program starting to come to fruition a little bit with the success you guys are having?
I see growth out of our team, out of our football family, as to be expected, but I continue to caution, we're not there yet. We still have a lot of work to do, and I do love coaching this group of guys, man. One of the things that's been rewarding and encouraging for me is just how these guys have really bought into everything we've asked them to do as coaches, and the player-led culture, you're starting to see it come to fruition. And so I really enjoy coaching these guys. You know, in year 4, this is where we want to be. And now what we've got to do is take it 1 week at a time and really put the work in Monday through Friday, and good things tend to happen Saturday when you do that, and I think they've embraced that philosophy.
Hey, how you doing, Coach?
What's up, Josh?
So Talia was able to extend several plays on several drives, 3rd down, 4th down. Can you talk about the performance of the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, those guys really kept them upright today. I thought we ran the ball efficiently, you know, minus down in the goal line, which when you get down there, you know, the big fella might have been out of gas a little bit. You know, he had the long run, and he seemed to start leaving his feet a little earlier than what he has been doing. And I sure would love to see us finish that drive with a touchdown there at the end. But the offensive line, as I've said, is the most improved unit on our team. And you know, the good thing about it, coaching, is that you achieve what you emphasize, and to be able to see the things that we emphasize from spring till now and the development of our offensive line really gave us the ability to have a complementary offense where when we need to run the ball, we can run the ball to go with the passing game that everybody knows we are pretty efficient at.
Time for 3 more. We'll go back to the camera stuff.
3 more.
Sorry, Coach.
4th and short in the third quarter, you guys were up 11, you decided to go for it. Were you playing the numbers game there, or was your plan to be a little bit aggressive in those situations coming in?
You know, the wind's a factor. Our kicker's kick line, the pooch line becomes, I mean, there's a lot of things that go in, and obviously it's no surprise we do use analytics, and it makes, you know, something that I study all week long. We get the books in. The win in the fourth quarter becomes a factor, so it is a chess match in there. And you know, the book kind of gives you a pretty good idea of going into it, of when we're going to go for it on 4th down, which allows your play caller. You know, we'll start a drive, and I'll say, hey, Dan, if we get to the plus 40, you're in 2-down territory, anything over 3 yards. Well, we got to 1. It said go for it. We had a good call ready to go. So it is some analytics, but I'm not just trusting this book. I'm also putting a little human element on it and continue to do so.
Hey coach, first few drives in the second half defensively, I think it was a 3-and-out, 4-play drive in some order. How important is it for the defense to set the tone in the second half, and how much pressure does it take off the offense when they're playing like that?
Yeah, I mean, our defense, like I said, for the last 3 games has been lights out in terms of just the adjustments, and you know, we give up some cheap yardage there in the first half, and even, you know, a couple of times just, you know, not necessarily being lined up, and the communication was an issue early in the game. As you know, people copycat things that worked against you, and you've got to continue to, you know, work to correct the big plays and things that people have done in the past. And our defense, again, in the second half, Brian and those guys have really given them a plan that allows them to go in and play efficient defense, which definitely helps us on offense.
Last question, Varun, to your right.
Hey coach, it seemed like you guys played really good complementary football today, you know, defense up on the offense, vice versa, and the special teams too. How does it feel to see all 3 phases of your team coming together like they did today?
Well, we're always striving for perfection, and that's why, you know, we always talk about striving for perfection is what makes it really hard, and that's why winning is, we respect winning around here, because it is so hard to get 18 to 22-year-olds to do it exactly how you ask them to do it with the type of focus necessary. And you know, we're a work in progress with it. You know, we had 4 penalties on special teams, and to me, those are just the ones that will keep me up tonight. But I do see the players buying in and really trying to do the things we ask them to do, and that's really all you can ask.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you.